Hello everybody, Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Trading Partners along with Bob Iacino. So nice little rally finally in Bitcoin. That should help some people if you're long. What we're watching for now is I've drawn these purple lines in here. We actually ran up just above the 3640 gain level, spiking through that, coming up to test some most recent highs in the areas before this last sell-off. Pulling back now, holding at the 25%. Those are the purple lines, 3605. If we move below that, I'm still watching for a rotation back up to see some strength coming in. Key areas that I'm going to be watching for, 3540, and then the rising rotation zone, 3475 for a pullback, then a strong rotation back up. We could pull back all the way to 3410, bottom of the rotation zone. What you don't want to see is a close back below the rotation zone on the 4 hour, but it's not an entry for us until it rotates back up. Now, the levels are up here to the upside based off this most recent push. You see actually the 12.5% gain level, 3,800 coming in pretty much with the target. So if we close above this key level, that also triggers this daily double bottom. The next minor level above that's 3865. Next major levels above that. Well, let's take a look at the daily for the next major level. So the next major level above that would be the trigger, the stop reduction for the potential double bottom, which is 4,007, essentially 4,000. Now, if this does trigger at this point, the rotation zone on a daily basis would be out of the way, and you'd need a close on a daily time frame above 3,800 or an extended move and a pullback to retest 3,800 with a rotation back up. So we'll be watching for then for a more sustained rally. Just check on the weekly chart real quick. See where it is. So weekly chart, see, we could easily even, this is the full target for that double bottom is about 4210 area right in here. That doesn't even return us to the rotation zone on the weekly. So we could easily trigger all these levels, come up even above the full target on the daily double bottom, and still be in full bearish mode on a weekly time frame. So you could easily come back all the way back up and then rotate back down on a weekly time frame. And you also notice on the weekly time frame, there's the 200-week simple moving average coming straight down to it and then finding some key support. So again, now if we come back down, close below about 3,200, not good at all for Bitcoin. Then we're back in full bearish mode. Switching over to Ethereum, also have the retracements and the next scan projections drawn on Ethereum. Funny enough, it lines up with the trigger on the double for the daily, right around 102.50. That's what we're watching for right now, holding above the 96 level, 25% pullback from this up move. If we break through there, next major area I'll be watching is about 94, 93, 93, 94, which are some of these top spike highs. And if we break through there, watching down to about 92.42 to 92, and those are areas we'll be watching for a rotation back up. We don't want to see a close below about 89, we'll just call it 89.63 to gain level at the bottom. It's technically the bottom of the rotation zone too. That would be a failed breakout then to the upside. But those are key levels we could easily pull back and then rotate back up, and we'd be in minor bullish mode because we're still against the rotation zone on the daily and the weekly. Let's switch over to that daily chart. Daily chart, you see, here's the big move into the rotation zone. Now, this one, if this were to trigger in the next day or so, we would not be out of the way of the rotation zone. So the safer trigger would still be a close for the double above the rotation zone, which right now is about 103.95. But once that rotation zone drops out of the way, if this pauses for a bit or pulls back, then rotates back up, this will keep getting out of the way. And then we'd be watching for, once it's out of the way, the close above 102.50. Let's check it on the weekly chart too. Why not? Let's see here. So now let me expand some of this based off the weekly time frame. Again, similar to Bitcoin, we could rally up, complete all these targets for the double bottom, and still not even get back to the rotation zone declining on the 8. So even if this completed all the targets, this would still be in weekly bearish mode territory easily for Ethereum. So just keep that in mind, and we'll talk to everyone soon. Bye for now.